What's going on, YouTube? This is Blue Boat. I've been away for a minute. You know what I mean? Just really haven't had time to make any videos per se because, it's just been like crazy hectic with my schedule and everything, But I've been, keeping up on things and still trying to figure out how to use this thing. The one main thing I want to do is like, how do I put slideshows on my phone as far as like content? Because I really want to post this greatest NBA players list of mine, and I want to do a slideshow presentation of it. So I don't know. Any of my subscribers can reach out and tell me how I can like set that up on my phone or how I can set it up per se, so everybody can see it on YouTube. Let me know. But yeah. Get into the topic of this particular video. Last night, the Clippers lost to the Memphis Grizzlies, 140 to 114, if I'm not mistaken. And Kawhi had a so-and-so game. Montrezl Harrell played well. Lou Williams did his usual thing. But I'm starting to notice a pattern here as far as like with them and other teams as far as the media goes. Like, when there's a couple of certain teams that, we all know who they are, they go on a losing streak or they lose to an inferior team, it's the end of the world. And it's like gloom and doom. But end of the day, it seems like there's a real bias going on. But I haven't heard no criticisms from certain channels here on YouTube. I haven't heard anything from the media after like the sky is falling, Now, if this was a certain other team, I already want let's just leave it at that. It'd be a whole lot of hot takes, whole lot of BS. A certain player's legacy would be questioned, and like that just lets you know right there that the media has their favorites, has their certain favorites. And if I'm not mistaken, this Clippers team was, coming out of the gate, was anointed as the coming champion, the champions this coming season. Well, right now they're the fifth seed in the Western Conference, if I'm not mistaken. And this whole load management thing, it's like, it has its pros and cons. Let's call it for what it is. It has its pros and cons, and they got to be careful. I mean, you want a high seed to get a certain matchup. You definitely want a high seed to get a certain matchup. But from the way things are looking, I say they have about 40 games left. There's about 40 games left in the season. We're almost at the halfway point. I say about February, almost about the halfway point. And the Clippers, if they're not careful, they can fall below that top 5 team in the West. Now, I know people are going to say, oh, well, it doesn't matter. Kawhi's won without home court advantage before. Well, you got to listen. You got to check it out. That was a different team, okay? And plus the East, from like 2 through 8, from like 3 to 8, wasn't as top heavy as the West. That's a completely different team, Basically, Montrezl Harrell touched on it last night. They're still trying to find themselves. They're still trying to figure out how to play with each other. I know they had some signature wins in the regular season so far, but you gotta think. They're still trying to figure each other out. And like, to be honest with you, that's a real dangerous game. Throw a team together on the fly and then expect everything to come together for the playoffs. That's like, you really can't bank on that. And if they're not careful, they could find themselves ousted in the second round. For as great as Kawhi is, this is a whole different new season. See, the difference between the Clippers now and the Raptors last year when Kawhi got traded there, that team was together for X amount of years, the Raptors. And the only thing they took out was DeMar DeRozan. They added Kawhi Leonard. With this Clippers team, you're adding Paul George, Kawhi Leonard, the three-point shooter Shamit, Harkless, and Zubats. Zubats may have been on that team last year, but it was like during the halfway towards the end where they inserted him in the lineup. But yeah, they're gonna have to be careful, man. Clippers gonna have to be careful because if they can easily find themselves as outside the top 5 in the West. But you're not going to hear any hot takes or any fake outrage because, like I said before, the media has their favorites. The media likes to protect certain players. And this all goes back to like one player. One player who we know who we're talking about, At the end of the day, this all but proves that the hypocrisy in the media and the hypocrisy on YouTube, Nobody has the same energy at all. If this was a certain other team, or I'll say it, Houston Rockets. This was the Houston Rockets with Westbrook and Harden, and if they lost like 25, 30 points to a Memphis Grizzlies team, it'd be the end of the world according to the media, according to the so-called media. Oh, it said, James Harden's a fraud, James Harden is this, James Harden is that, Russell Westbrook is stat pad, whatever. It's never the same, man. All this right now, I'm happy. I'm glad this is happening right now because it's exposing the holes in the media's argument and the hypocrisy in the media, But at the end of the day, whatever subscribers I've had so far, y'all know what I'm talking about. So tell me what you all think.